Hi, everybody. I hope you're having a really great day. Have you ever thought about the topic of when the soul enters the body? Is it at the time of conception or the time of birth? Well, I've had two experiences that have really answered this question for me, and I'd like to share them with you. It was in 1991, and my girlfriend Deborah was about to give birth to her second child, and I was invited to be at the birth with her husband and, of course, my girlfriend. On the day of her delivery, or the day that she went into labor, I got a call from her husband, and he said, if you're going to come to the hospital, you better come right now because she's going to go in a few hours. And I lived about 40 miles away, so I was really nervous but very excited about this. So I grabbed my coat and I told my husband I won't be home for dinner. And in the car, I was saying to myself, be calm, don't be nervous, which I really was. I was very nervous because I wanted to be there so much, and it was right at rush hour. Well, anyway, I made it. I made it at 5 o'clock, and the nurse didn't even ask me who I was, if I was related or anything, and she just said, I gave her my girlfriend's name, and she told me to go into the labor room. And I walked in, and I'll never forget this. My girlfriend Deborah was in bed, and she was very calm, and there was one light on, one little bitty light, not an overhead, and her husband was there, of course. And it was very peaceful, and she was panting, of course, she was in labor. But it was, and we didn't talk, but it was a very serene and peaceful situation. And after about, I'd say an hour of that, the nurse came in and said that she was about to go into delivery or have her baby. So they moved her right next door to the delivery room. And I noticed that when I went into the delivery room, the atmosphere in the room, and I am very, very, very sensitive to energy and to the environment. I always have been this way. But I remember very clearly that when she was wheeled into the next room, the atmosphere was, there was like a slight buzz, and it was pink. It's very hard to explain. It was a feeling I had, but I actually felt it and saw it. It was just like a cloud, a beautiful pink cloud of energy surrounding everything. It was in the room. It permeated the room. And the nurse directed me down to the end of the bed. So I got to be there, and I have never given birth in this lifetime, so this was really a big deal for me. And I got to watch the baby coming out, and just about when the head was crowning, just about that point, the energy in the room got really dark pink, and it was the buzz, the sound. I mean, I actually felt and saw and heard the energy. It was subtle, but I feel it. So I didn't say anything, of course, because I was focused on my job. My job was to dab her head and also stand by her, rubbing her legs right at the end. So when the baby, just as the baby was coming out of her body, this was absolutely amazing. The baby came out, and then the nurse took the child and put her on top of Deborah's stomach. Right then, when she did that, and all of a sudden, there was a swirling of energy. The energy had coalesced, and it was swirling, and it looked like a cyclone. It was like a funnel of energy, and it went into the baby's body, and then the second the cord was cut, there was a beautiful, beautiful bright light of golden light surrounding the baby. I'll never forget it. I just knew that I was witness to a miracle, and it was just amazing, absolutely amazing. About maybe 3 months after the baby was born, my aunt, a woman I loved very much, almost as much as my mother, she was like my mother. She was getting very ill. I mean, she wasn't getting ill. She was declining in health. She was 85 at the time, or 86, I think. 86, I don't remember, but she was elderly. And she had been using a walker for years, and she was almost not able to use her walker anymore. And I knew that she didn't have a lot of time to live. I just felt it in my heart. Well, one day I got a call from the home where she lived, and they said they had taken her to the hospital. So I immediately went right away. And for the next week, she and I were able to spend a wonderful, just a very special time together, because we were able to discuss our life, all the fun things we did, all of our feelings, and we did talk about death and dying. It was quite beautiful, and the only thing she said to me was she wasn't afraid of dying at all, but she was afraid to leave me because she didn't want to leave me alone. And I told her, I said, Aunt Letha, I'm happily married, finally. I have a wonderful husband, and I won't be alone. You don't have to worry about me. Well, at the end of the week, I'd say we'd been there about 5 days. Her breathing had started to be very labored. And the doctor, said that it wouldn't be too long now. So they brought in a cot for me to stay all night with her. Well, what I thought would be maybe her last night, according to the doctor. I remember, I remember standing by the window, and I was looking out over the whole city of San Francisco. And I saw, it was a sunset, a beautiful, beautiful sunset. And I remember this intense feeling I had that it was if the universe was talking to me, or God was talking to me. And they said, the words I heard were that I would be staying here with my body, and my aunt would be leaving with hers. It was as if, her coat was being removed, but I was gonna keep mine, which was my body, but that our essence, that our spirit, which is connected to each other and to everybody else, doesn't die, and that it lives on forever. And I remember, as I felt that, the sunset was so magnificent, and I just felt at peace, really at peace, like I'd felt with my girlfriend's birth. There was a sense of peace that was unreal. It was very ethereal and really special. Well, later that night, my aunt's breathing got much worse, and she called out to me several times in the night, and I encouraged her. I talked with her, and then eventually she didn't talk anymore, and she was drifting. Well, early in the morning, and I was standing there for hours holding her hand and loving her and talking to her. She wasn't breathing very well at all and taking very deep breaths in her, and I knew something was coming. About that time, the energy in the room became so electric. It was unbelievable. It was exactly like the energy when I was at Deborah's birth. Exactly like it. It was pink. It had a color. It was buzzing. It was I mean, it was almost as if I could see the energy in motion, and I actually felt it, and it was getting stronger and stronger and stronger. And then the most amazing thing happened. My aunt took her last breath, and as she took her last breath, this energy circled into a funnel, just coalesced, and went down into her heart, and the room filled with the brightest, most golden light I have ever seen. She was lit up. Her face was beautiful. She was at peace. There was sun. It felt like sun all around her. There was light. It was absolutely incredible. And I really understood at that moment. There is a cord that runs forever. Our soul never dies. It never dies. And we come in here, each lifetime that we have, we enter the world, and when our umbilical cord is cut and the baby takes its first breath, that's the meaning of the astrology chart. That's the map of our present lifetime, what the potentials are for our destiny and for our future in this lifetime. And then when it's time to go, we shed our body. But the essence of us, which, by the way, is connected to every other soul in the universe. We're all connected. It's all one entity, and that is love, pure love. And I'll just never forget this experience. And what it has done for me is that I live each day in every way as if it were my last, because I don't want to have any regrets. We never know when our time's going to be over, in this lifetime, that is. It doesn't matter. We never die. We have so much to share here, and we have so much to share on the other side. I really do hope that each of you can find peace within your heart when you lose somebody, because we really don't lose them. We're all connected, and we can talk to them on the other side. For today, I would just like to say, if you like the stories I share with you and my experiences from my life, I hope you will go to my website, kkopit.com, and peruse the website. I have a blog, and I've written a book, and I've done a screenplay, and I've also made a documentary, and I've shared a lot of my stories that I think will show you my whole purpose is to help and heal, because I feel like I learned a lot from this amazing life that I've led. And also check out my videos on the YouTube channel, and there might be a topic that you like. Have a great day.